Now moving on to FirstRand.
Now we're bringing it home.
Banking, insurance and investment group which includes First National Bank, West Bank and Rand Merchant Bank.
Yeah, interestingly, this one did a lot of reorganizing in the last 5 years, because you remember that used to have that complicated thing where Remgro, it's sort of sometimes sort of partner, and then Rand Merchant Insurance and everything was all scrambled up. Well, now that's the three things they own 100%. Very nice.
Much neater portfolio. Market cap here, 306 billion rand, a PE of 15 and a dividend yield of 3.4. This is the one, as I said, we own it in the portfolio.
Yeah, now the first thing I want to point out is how far down the league tables we've fallen. So we've gone from talking about Wells Fargo with a market capitalization of $300 billion to a company, the biggest in South Africa, with a market capitalization of 300 billion rand, which we know is like 12.7 times smaller. But you know, credible player, 300 billion rand is not small beer.
No, it's not. And again, we do own it in the portfolio. How has it done for us? Because again, this foray into the banking environment is new for you.
It's
Are you
new.
happy with the performance?
Well, so far the performance is no performance. Let's have a look at the 5-year chart. You can see it's gone sort of sideways there in 2015. So we picked them up somewhere along the line in that last bit. But
do we pick them up at the all-time high?
Yeah, I think so. I think we bought
generally
them at
do
like
that.
48 or 49 or 54 or something, and they're currently at 53 or 54 rands a share. So not making much in the way of
Are
gains.
you dissatisfied?
No, not really. You know, this is a long-term game, so we don't worry about that too much. The results from South African banks in recent years have been good, very good. Steady Eddie. 25% earnings increases, same global story, not really doing so much risky activities anymore, keeping it nice and clean, getting their costs down.
We've seen the first interest rate increase in South Africa, that 25 basis point increase recently. You know my concern around the South African consumer. No worry from your side.
Look, in theory, interest rate hikes from the central bank are supposed to be good for banks, because what happens then is they immediately notify all of their customers that own overdrafts and mortgages that their interest rates are going higher. But it takes a little while before their own, you know, sort of ebb and lags. They can increase the cost of capital and their cost of money before they get the net margin squeezed themselves.
Bottom line, though, it is going to impact consumers, heavily indebted South African consumers.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to be too much of a problem, because remember, a bank like this does a lot of corporate funding and financing in their R&B division. That's mergers, acquisitions, capital raises, funding and assisting with deals, buying and selling of things. That's all going well, very well. R&B often gets all the best mandates. And FirstRand, you know, is picking up all the good business. Their branches are much better looking than all the other banks.
You're very biased. I can't endorse your opinion on this.
You know, I bank personally with Standard Bank, although business-wise we use FNB, and the chalk and cheese comparison. Standard Bank, I'm sorry to say, has fallen a little behind in terms of technology. This morning I tried to log on and do a transaction on Standard Bank. It said, unfortunately, we're down for repairs, and the message was dated the 21st of June.
Do you want to do any more bashing of Standard Bank on the show?
Well, we're going to talk about them in a minute.
Oh, we're going to get there.
We're going to get there
just
later.
Wait.
But as far
Hot or
as
not on
FNB,
FirstRand?
wait, but we haven't talked about West Bank and all of the asset finance
The
businesses.
vehicle finance arm in West Bank.
Look, you know, to talk about the South African consumer, the corporate and retail credit extension numbers remain pretty solid. So whilst
I know
we worry,
better than to get into a consumer argument with you.
consumers are fine. When last did you go out, like on a Friday or a Wednesday? Or Thursday?
I do agree that you can't
The
go
malls
to a
are
mall
packed with
on
people
a Saturday or a Sunday.
living up large. And
On
then
debt.
you go to the
On
motor
debt. I'm telling
dealers,
you, it's
people
all
are
on
all
debt.
buying new cars and
It's not
goodness
cash,
what.
it's debt. Anyway, we're not going to, that's not what we're talking about today.
Anyway,
Hot or not on
FirstRand.
FirstRand?
I like it. I think it's hot. And also the trend towards retail people enjoying online banking is good for banks, because it improves their margins too. If you're using your app, then you're not going in the branch, which is really very good for them.
You said hot.
Hot for them.